Law Society of Kenya President Nelson Havi has defected from NC Party and joined Deputy President-led outfit UDA in his ambitions to vie for Westlands parliamentary seat. In a move that has left many social media users in a frenzy, the LSK president has been received by, among others, Garissa Town Member of Parliament Edin Duale and Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago at DP RUTO residence in Karen. Meanwhile, only one cabinet secretary, Charles Keter, for devolution. 9 governors out of 47 and 2 principal secretaries attended the 15th ordinary session of the council at Deputy President William Ruto's Karen official residence earlier today. Our very own Harry Chimea with more details.
Weeks after the Law Society of Kenya LSK President Nelson Havi announced that he would vie for the Westlands parliamentary seat in 2022 to succeed the current MP Tim Wanyonyi, who is eyeing the Nairobi gubernatorial position, Havi today was officially received by Deputy President William Ruto in Karen, Nairobi.
Mr. President, congratulations. Very good. Very good.
Havi, after announcing his interest in contesting for the Westlands parliamentary seat, joined Amani National Congress of Musalia Mudavadi that he now defects to join UDA. The vocal lawyer has been welcomed by Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago, legislators Edin Duale, Kimani Ichung'wah, and Rigathi Gachagua. Havi is one of the opposers of the BBI initiative, and his new boss, DP Ruto, holds a similar view.
Jukumu letu kutokana wakati huu na mpaka Januari tukapokuja kusikizwa ni kutayarisha makarasi yetu ili kuhakikisha kwamba uamuzi tuliopata katika mahakama kuu na uamuzi tuliopata katika mahakama ya rufaa hautupiliwi mbali.
Kenyans are also speculating on the timing of his move, which he made a few hours after the High Court ordered the embattled lawyer Miguna to be allowed back in the country. Havi is one of the lawyers who have been insisting that the lawyer has his rights infringed. Miguna has previously been linked to Ruto's camp.
We've asked the judge to lift the red alert, to compel Air France to board Miguna on the next available flight from Berlin to Paris en route Nairobi. And we've also asked the High Court to compel the government of the Republic of Kenya to take all measures necessary to ensure the unrestricted conveyance of Miguna from Berlin through Paris to Nairobi.
Meanwhile, speaking at his current home after hosting the 15th ordinary session of the council that meets twice a year and is chaired by the DP, Ruto dismissed claims that he has been using state machinery to campaign for his state house bid, saying his countrywide tours aim at undertaking his core mandate as deputy president.
I haven't started the campaign because the campaign period is not yet announced by IBC. What you have seen me do is to do what my mandate is: speaking to people, understanding their issues, assessing the extent of our government programs, how far the roads are, and receiving feedback from the public.
The crucial meeting chaired by Ruto was, however, snubbed by cabinet secretaries and majority of governors who were invited. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Harriet Chimea.
Meanwhile, ODM party leader Raila Odinga today took his Azimio la Umoja and 2022 campaigns to West Pokot County. Odinga, who was accompanied by Governor John Lenyongapuo, Senate leader Samuel Pogisho, among others, expressed confidence that Raila could scoop over 300,000 votes from the county. The residents handed over a memorandum of the people to Odinga, which was presented to him by Governor Lenyongapuo on behalf of the Pokot community from West Pokot and Tiati.
When Baba wa devolution
ati raha tupate na ustawi. Nchi ambayo iko na raha na ustawi ni nchi ambayo iko tajiri, kuna mali, hakuna mtu analala na njaa. Hiyo ndio nchi ambayo iko namna hiyo. Nchi kama hiyo kwa Biblia inaitwaje? 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 Nyinyi ndio mmesema. Hiyo ndio Kanani nilikuwa naambia Wakenya nataka kuwapeleka. Manake tunataka kuanza mambo ya kujenga viwanda katika taifa letu. Tufanye ile kitu inaitwa value addition. Hapa West Pokot ile madini ambayo ziko hapa ni mingi. Tunajenga viwanda hapa. Tunachimba hizo madini, tuna process hapa, bidhaa inatoka ambayo imekwisha.
On to other news, the 7th Annual Devolution Conference kicks off tomorrow at MAKUENI Boys in MAKUENI County. Amidst political temperatures rising across the country, the conference will host over 3,000 delegates. Was earlier scheduled to be held in August, but was postponed due to a surge in COVID-19 cases in the country. At that time, among invited guests are ODM party leader Raila Odinga, Deputy President William RUTO, One Kenya Alliance chiefs Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, among others. Apollo James with more.
For the first time in a long time, opposition leaders including ODM leader Raila Odinga and Deputy President William RUTO will address the same congregants at the 7th Devolution Conference. And with the general elections set for next year, this will be the last devolution conference under President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration and the current governors.
Instead of having annual devolution conferences, we'll be doing them biannually. So instead of doing another one next year, we'll be doing them after every 2 years. This would allow for implementation of resolutions, because we realize sometimes we'll be meeting for the next devolution conference before the previous resolutions have been implemented. So this is going to be the last of the annual ones.
The meeting will bring together bitter rivals. The last couple of months has seen OCA and ODM exchange bitter words, with OCA principals insisting that they will not support ODM party leader Raila Odinga, while Odinga saying he doesn't need their support as such. Last week, Odinga met top Ukambani governors including Kivutha Kibwana, Charity Ngilu and Alfred Mutua. However, in an interview with Switch Television, a close friend of Kibwana, Mukisa Kitui, intimated that Kibwana was not supporting Raila.
I have seen already Kivutha Kibwana has crossed borders and he has gone to ODM. He'll be supporting Raila Odinga.
He has not gone to ODM. He has hosted Raila's meeting in Wote to say that of the coalitions that are emerging, he aligns with that side as opposed to the side of RUTO. And to my understanding, that's different from joining ODM. The last time I spoke to him...
On the other hand, even though they will not be addressing the delegates the same day, DP William RUTO will be for the first time since Mashujaa Day celebrations in Kirinyaga meet ODM leader Raila Odinga. The two have locked horns the last couple of months, with each traversing different parts of the country and charging crowds against their opponents.
Mambo ya kutupa mawe tuache kutupa mawe. Sawa sawa. Tunataka tuheshimiane. Hakuna haja ya kupigana.
Mtu mwingine anasema ati fulani hawezi kukaribishwa pande ya Kenya. Bali yeye ni mchawi. Sikaya ni Wakenya wote. Kwa hiyo kila Mkenya ana haki ya kuzuru kila mahali. Na vile vile Wakenya kuwapendana. Manake hiyo ndio wale waanzilishi wa taifa letu walitaka.
Meanwhile, residents of MAKUENI County, where the conference is being held, continue to face drought-related starvation as the drought situation continues to worsen across the country due to the delayed short rains.
Nakwambia kukula ni Maulana. Kuna watu ambao kitu kama chai ama lunch, chakula, kuna familia zingine wanakula safari moja. Tumesema kilo ni shilingi 30. Na unakuta familia kama kwangu niko na watu 8.
Wakati huu kuna njanga, kuna chakula ya ng'ombe hakuna, chakula ya watu hakuna, tunahangaishwa na njaa na kuna njanga ya njaa huku kwetu, Kikumbuli South, Kibwezi.
Majirani huko wanahangaika na njaa tu. Wako na njaa sana.
Each head of the delegation to the conference has been urged to ensure that all members are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and have test certificates so that they can be allowed to participate. President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to open the conference tomorrow. Apollo James, Switch Television.
And now let's focus on this particular story. Embattled lawyer Miguna now says he will not reapply his Kenyan citizenship at the Kenyan embassy in Canada because he never lost it. Miguna was ordered earlier today by the High Court to get emergency travel documents from either the Kenyan High Commission in Canada or the mission in Germany within 72 hours to enable him to travel to Kenya. It's a story that, of course, we are following up and we'll be getting it in a subsequent bulletins. On to other news, Kenya National Union of Teachers and KNUT has distanced itself from political matters, saying those in the political arena tend to give empty promises without delivering, especially now when the political scene is focused on the economic models. Our reporter Saza Munga has more on the story.
It is exactly 100 days since the new Kenya National Union of Teachers boss Collins Oyu took oath of office after an unopposed election after the resignation of the former boss Wilson Sossion. Sossion, who faced a stormy 3 years in office, had fell out with the government and the Teachers Service Commission.
Uhusiano kati ya mwajiri na Kenya National Union of Teachers kwa sasa imeimarika. We have very cordial relationship. We work very well with Teachers Service Commission. What we had lost for over 6 years is back.
In an exclusive interview with Switch TV today, KNUT Secretary General Collins Oyu distanced himself from any political association, saying politicians have been giving teachers empty promises and that teachers will be making independent decisions on whom to support without interference from the Teachers Union.
Non-partisan in matters politics. And I want to say, freely, we shall allow every other person to campaign without, involving our profession towards a particular direction. We know exactly what we should do. Of course, we know what is true as a promise and what cannot be achieved as a promise.
The 56-year-old has assured all teachers of a smooth and steady union going forward, even as debates on changing the retiring age for teachers from 60 to 65 are ongoing.
As we speak now, the National Executive Council has held one meeting. It is after this meeting that I got rumors about what is being said about adding our retirement age from 60 to 65. I don't want to deny that it is a debate outside here. Yes, it is a debate, but it is in the hands of the National Executive Council to make a decision on the same.
Tomorrow, KNUT will have its first conference since Oyu took reins of the union. The conference will be aired live at this station from 11 a.m. The Principal Secretary for Early Learning and Basic Education will be among the panelists together with Matheka Nzika, the National Chairman of KEPSHA. For Switch TV, I'm Saza Munga.
Still a focus on matters politics. Uganda opposition leader Bobi Wine's wife Barbara Kyagulanyi has told Switch TV that women are their own worst enemies. Speaking during a Women Rights Defenders Forum, Barbara has said that women have the capacity to nominate and elect a woman president, but this will be possible if women do not unite during elections. She spoke to our reporter Daniel Anunda.
Around the world as well as in Africa, women's leadership and political participation is restricted. Women are underrepresented in leading positions, whether in elected office or the civil service. This is despite their proven abilities as leaders and agents of change and their right to participate equally in democratic governance, especially politics. Earlier today, I spoke to Bobi Wine's wife, Barbara Kyagulanyi, on how conducive the political climate is to women leaders.
The environment may not be safe yet. I can say it is not safe because women are still despised. Women are still don't be treated as if they're good enough. It has been historical in the African culture. Women are just women. All they do is cook and look after children. But I think that with success stories, we have president women. We have women taking on strong positions and working really well. So those are giving us a green light that the positions may not be a conducive environment to be, but they're surviving there. So they're encouraging the others to come. The environment is not yet good. And we still need more
Okay, but someone told me it is a saying that goes that women are their own enemies. If women would want to have a female president, it's very much possible. What are some of the challenges they go through for them to, because the population of women is higher than those of men. If you want to put a female president, it's very much possible.
I think the problem is with us women, true. I agree with you. We do not lift each other high enough. We do not empower each other enough. We do not plan. We do not engage. We do not bring each other together enough. So I think if we mobilized and educated ourselves more and were willing to take on those positions, yes, we would conquer. So you're right. We are our own enemies. We still hold ourselves down. Our esteem is still low. If we realize our strength, then I'm very sure that we would do better.
As we move close to next year's general elections, more women are vying for top political seats in the country with the hope that the same will be replicated across the Horn of Africa. Barbara has been at the forefront fighting for the rights of Ugandans, even facing jail time under the current government.
As Kasia Gospel says, amazing things happen when women help other women. Reporting for Switch TV, I'm Daniel Anunda.
I'll also be seeking Teresia Wachira's comment on that particular story. If she can elect actually a woman president, if she gets a chance to. With that story, we now take a short commercial break, 14 minutes past 7 p.m. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and the sign language interpreter is Teresia Washira. Moving on, the government will no longer distribute food to families in drought-stricken areas, but will instead provide a 3,000 Kenya shillings monthly stipend. Cabinet Secretary for Public Service Agenda, Senior Citizens Affairs and Special Programs, Margaret Kobia, has stated that this new policy will start on December 1st. Shilangetich reports.
8 counties in the 23 arid and semi-arid lands region now classified in the drought alarm phase. The 8 Garissa, Isiolo, Kilifi, Kitui, Lamu, Mandera, Marsabit, Tana River, Turkana and Wajir have faced the worst drought in years.
The other 13 counties are in alert phase and can quickly move to alarm because of the depressed rainfall.
The pangs of the drought ravaging families in this area so catastrophic that majority of residents have sold off most of their animals as many more die out of lack of water and pasture. However, beginning next month, the government has announced that residents of the affected counties will receive cash money rather than foodstuff.
The government has brought a multi-agency approach to put in place mitigation measures to support the persons affected by the drought in the country through provision of relief food, water tracking and livestock uptake.
This move resorted to by the government is due to other cash transfer programs which have proved successful.
Also assisted by the Red Cross to make sure the people affected do receive this support on time and to alleviate their suffering.
This cash transfer program being adopted is similar to the model Kenya Red Cross Society has been using in the past few months. Meanwhile, the Chinese government has donated 2.25 billion worth of rice as food relief for households faced with these adverse effects of drought.
The rice donation will be distributed to schools in the 23 ASAL counties to ensure the retention of students in schools during the drought period.
Shilangetich, Switch TV.
We now shift our focus to matters health, and today Kenya has recorded 18 new COVID-19 cases and no death was reported. And now the positivity rate is at 0.5%, even as shortage of vaccination doses remains the key challenge in enforcing the government's order forbidding access to public services by Kenyans who failed to be vaccinated by December 21st this year. Different rights groups, including Amnesty International, have also criticized the move, saying Kenya would not be able to vaccinate the majority of its population in just 4 weeks. Kenyans have also elicited different reactions regarding the declaration by Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe, as our reporter Brian Mwenda narrates.
Everybody seeking in-person government services should be fully vaccinated and proof of vaccination availed by December 21st, 2021.
It is this statement by Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe that has elicited reactions from Kenyans, with most Kenyans defiant about following the order.
Naona ni kutusoma na tusoma rada. Kwa sababu hakuna venye unaweza niambia kwani how come wanaitilia maanani hivyo sana ati lazima kwani ni nini about hiyo kitu yenye wanatulazimisha hivyo sana.
Hawajaleta doses za kutosha.
Lakini wewe mhudumu wa bodaboda unapatana na watu wengi sana pale nje. Wengi maybe hata wanaweza kuwa na hata virusi vya corona, lakini bado hujachukua chanjo yako. Uone ni kama uko katika hatari.
Siko katika hatari yoyote mimi. Nashukuru, lakini immune yangu it's very strong. Ile vaccine wapatia watu wenye immune yao iko chini.
Human rights group Amnesty International has challenged the practicability of the government's order, saying Kenya will not be able to vaccinate the majority of its population in just 4 weeks, and that so many people will not be able to earn a living, access transport, or go to school.
Such service will include but not limited to KRA services, education, immigration services, hospital and prison visitation, NTSA, and port services, among others.
Currently, the number of vaccines received by the Health Ministry stands at 10,704,690 doses, out of which 6,388,427 is the number of total vaccine rollout. Only 8.8% of the adult population has been fully vaccinated up to now, and if this order is enforced, about 38 out of 48 million Kenyans are set to miss out of these government services and public services.
Show proof of vaccination before boarding buses, matatus, and all regional travelers.
This comes as teenagers aged in between 15 to 18 years old in the country are set to be vaccinated against COVID-19 from tomorrow. The rollout of vaccination for persons aged under 18 years is in line with the approval of Pfizer by the World Health Organization for the use on children aged 12 and above.
With all said and done, perception and more information is key to reaching the 10 million target by December. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Brian Munda.
And now to the corridors of justice. Amid the fight against school unrest across the country, two teachers, Joanina Kabogo and Nicholas Ouma God, have been arraigned on charges of inciting students of St. George's Boys Secondary School in Kilifi County that led to its closure 2 months ago. Our very own Lemayan Kefa Letina tells us more.
The two teachers from St. George's Boys Secondary School in Kilifi County were arraigned in court earlier today on charges of incitement. Joanina Kabogo and Nicholas Ouma were arrested last week on Friday after investigation linked them to the strike and closure of the school 2 months ago.
Joanita Wangeshi, Nicholas Ouma, nyote wameweza kuletwa koti kwa shtaka la kuchochea furugu ambayo ni kinyume cha sheria mnamo tarehe 20 mwezi wa 10 mwaka huu katika kijiji cha Mtitoandei, kaunti ya Makueni, bila sababu zote ambayo ni kinyume cha sheria.
Joanina was also faced with another count of creating disturbance in a manner likely to cause a breach of peace contrary to section 95(1)(b) of the Penal Code after she was alleged to have hit a local resident with a plastic chair.
Sheria ama bila sababu zozote uliweza kutamka maneno haya: mimi sitaki kufa kama mwalimu Makau yule anataka kuambia principal aende aseme. Kwa ajili ya maneno hayo ambayo uliweza kutamka ikaweza kusababisha school unrest, causing the students to riot, resulting to damages of school property.
The two teachers, represented by lawyer Lawrence Obonyo, pleaded not guilty to all charges and applied to be released on a reasonable cash bail and board terms. In his ruling, the principal magistrate noted that the suspects have constitutional rights to be released on a bond and directed each one of them to pay 20,000 cash bail or surety bond of 50,000 Kenyan shillings.
For considering that it is their constitutional right to be released on reasonable bail or bond terms, the accused person shall and hereby granted each cash bail of Kenya shillings 20,000 plus one personal surety of Kenya shillings 50,000. The personal sureties must be residents of either Kilifi, Mombasa, or Kwale counties.
Meanwhile, in Kakamega County, Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has condemned some of the school's principals who are charging parents with high bills after it emerged that Kakamega High School charged affected parents with over 10,000 shillings to rebuild burnt dormitories. Students are supposed to report back to school tomorrow after a 3-day midterm amidst worry by most parents over school fires. Lemayan Kefa Letina, Switch TV.
Thank you, Kefa Lemayan. And now let's cross borders. Sudanese youth have opposed the newly signed political agreement between Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and Top General Abdel Fattah, the protesters citing the move as betrayal to the Sudanese people. Take a look.
A number of Sudanese youth took to the streets of Khartoum, Kaysala and the northern city of Atbara, protesting the newly signed deal between Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok and General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. The youth expressing disappointment at Hamdok, saying they will no longer agree to any deal involving the army. A Sudanese protester, Ahmed Balradin, said currently Hamdok is no longer accepted in the streets, saying he betrayed all the deals we had with him for civilian government and a transition to civilian rule. The protesters further say Hamdok has truly let down the youth and the Sudanese people. Sudan's Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok was the face of the country's fragile transition to civilian rule for more than 2 years before he was ousted and detained in a coup last month. The coup has since claimed about 40 lives, according to medics. After weeks of house arrest, during which Sudan was rocked by mass protests, he officially returned to government under a deal signed with military leader General Abdallah Fattah al-Burhan. HAMDOK, a British-educated economist who worked for the United Nations and African organizations, carved out an image as a champion of good governance and transparency over the course of a long and varied career. He emerged as Sudan's civilian leader after a series of unprecedented youth-led protests brought down longtime autocrat Omar al-Bashir, who was arrested by the military in April 2019. HAMDOK was outside Sudan and not directly involved in the protest movement, but the appointment of the technocrat was welcomed by the population as well as the international community. Apollo James, Switch Television.
A time to now get sporty. It's Equity versus KPA in the final of FIBA Zone 5 Championship, ongoing in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, with the two Kenyan teams meeting again in the final stage far from home. Equity hammered Gladiators of Burundi 45-27, while Kenya Post Authority defeated Rwanda Energy Group of Rwanda 67-57 to qualify for the final on Sunday. Meanwhile, reigning Africa champion Karl Flashtundo registered his fourth win of the season to edge closer to the Kenya National Rally Championship, a title following victory in the penultimate KCB Thika Rally on Sunday. In the rally table, Karl Tundo and his co-driver led, while his rival Baldev Chaga come in second position, and representing the ladies Maxine Wahome comes in at position 5.
He had to slow down, he couldn't see where he was for a moment. Extremely aggressive there, Baldy and Rabi. There they are.
We cross borders in the sporting world, and England manager Gareth Southgate has signed a new contract to keep him in the role until December 2024, as England has already qualified for the World Cup. Southgate, whose previous contract was set to run out after the 2022 Winter World Cup in Qatar, has been manager of the national side since November 2016, having led England to the final of Euro 2020.
It's a life changer. Didn't take a genius to work that one out.
Well, that's all here on Breaking Today this evening. My name is Joel Church, and the sign language interpreter is Teresia Washira. My producer has been Harry Chimea and director Samuel Mwangi. Until next time, do have a safe good night.